name is Brent Roberts. My wife is Kerri Roberts. We have 5 children, starting from oldest to youngest: Caleb, Grayson, Thomas, Maddie, and Ellie. I am a graduate from the University of South Carolina in Information Systems undergraduate school, and then Master's in Business. And my wife went to Columbia College doing vocal performance with a master's degree at Carolina in vocal performance as well. We've been married for 12 years. Back in 2005, my wife and I felt like God might be calling us to international adoption, so we started looking. We were looking specifically in Africa. I had a trip there to Kenya in 1995, and just really God had used that trip to set Africa on my heart. And as we began to look at international adoption, it became more and more clear to us that He was in fact calling us out of the workplace, out of our own culture and people, and calling us to go and serve in Zambia, Africa. So in 2005, my wife and I took a survey trip to Zambia to visit with a ministry there called Action International Ministries, and we were just going to see if this is where God wanted us to serve. Really just during the trip we hit it off really well with the team that was there, their philosophy of ministry, and so over the next couple of months we took time to pray about it and just seek the Lord over it and find out whether or not this is where He wanted us to go. And over that few months, God really confirmed in our hearts that it was Zambia where He was calling us, and it was with Action International Ministries. So we raised support for about a year. We got to Zambia in February 2008 and have been working with Action International Ministries for the past 3 years. Went there to work with Street Kids Ministry and Income Generation. Some things changed and ended up doing pastoral training and discipleship, teaching pastors how to make disciples in their congregations. Also was handed the reins for the financial administration of the ministry, which I've been doing for the past about a year and a half. And then we did in this last year get involved with the income generation ministry. So started a small business in Zambia that was used to generate income for their ministry center so that it could be provided, that it could be sustained with in-country funds. But over the past 6 to 8 months, God began to move in a new direction. We had been working in a place called Chikankata, which is about 2 hours south of Lusaka, with the chieftainess there. Her name is Chieftainess Mwenda. She's a Christian believer who has a heart to see her people reached with the gospel. And she has about 100 square kilometer area that she's responsible for, with about 100,000 people. And there are many in this area that have never been exposed to the gospel in this generation. It's been 40 or 50 years since the last foreign or local missionary has come through. To that end, she extended an invitation for our family to come, as well as another Action family, Luke and Elise Whitfield. And she gave us 100 acres of land to set up a ministry center down there. Her vision is the same as our vision, which is reaching every man, woman, and child in this area with a repeated opportunity to know Jesus. So that's kind of where we are now. We're in the process of getting moved down there. We've moved our house down there, but now we're back in the States, raising support to go back for this new ministry. This new ministry will be under a new organization as well, organization known as Commission to Every Nation, based out of Kerrville, Texas. We'll be going back with a plan for reaching this chiefdom with the gospel, strategically focusing on certain villages to do outreach using the Jesus film in their local language, which is Tonga, using community projects such as well drilling and a program called Foundations for Farming, to benefit the communities that we're working in, but also to use those for evangelism and for discipleship. And our ultimate goal is there's 240 villages in this area, and so our goal is over an extended period of time to have a church plant, an evangelical Christian church plant in all 240 villages.
The area of Chikankata is interesting in that it's really old school in a lot of ways. The old African tribal culture is still very strong there. They've kind of moved away from that more in the city in some ways, but definitely the mixture of tribal beliefs and animism and witchcraft mixed with some bits of Christianity are the overall religious atmosphere. And so going in, there's just a lot of spiritual needs. The people just are bound up in fear. The witch doctors basically control people and with fear, and it's a really sad situation, and they don't really know that there is freedom out there to be had from that. So we're excited about the calling to go to this area and just bring the message of deliverance to this culture. So that's a major prayer request for us, is going into a new culture and a culture that's so steeped in witchcraft and just such darkness that we would be strong, that we would be prepared spiritually for what we will face, and just be ready when God presents situations to us to confront untruth and evil, and to be able to bring freedom and minister peace to a culture who's living without it. We also could use prayer for just our physical health. Being out will be further away from any kind of medical assistance. We could use prayer for our family. Well, always we need prayer for our families as we prepare to leave home again. It's always hard to break from our families and friends here at home. That's always painful and hard on both sides, so we could use prayer for that. We could use prayer for our family as we go, that just being back in Africa, we'll just be bound together in love, and that our marriage will be continue to be strong, and that we'll be able to find times to spend building our marriage, even though we won't quite have as many opportunities for entertainment and that kind of thing. Pray also definitely for the health of our kids and protection for our kids, as we'll be exposed to more things that living in a rural area brings. More exposure to malaria, wild animals, that kind of thing. And just pray for God's provision. We really still need some monthly as well as one-time support to be able to go and do effective work that we feel like God's placed on our heart. So we could definitely use just prayer for His provision in that area.